The Crime Prevention Research Center, Dr. John Lott releases new research showing that politics has infected the reporting of gun crimes at the FBI and the CDC. One America's John Hines has more from Washington.
According to new research from the Crime Prevention Research Center, 41% of active shooting incidents were stopped by civilians. Outside of a so-called gun-free zone, 63% of active shooter incidents were ended by a good guy with a gun. Now, though, the Biden administration has stopped counting some of these incidents, according to Crime Prevention Research Center President Dr. John Lott. So, Dr. Lott, are politics infecting the data handling of agencies such as the FBI and the Centers for Disease Control with respect to some of these incidents where guys with a gun may have stopped crimes?
Unfortunately, I think that's the case. I also think it's unfortunate it's just not during the Biden administration. You have seen this problem with the FBI data over a number of years. The FBI puts together these annual reports, these so-called active shooting reports, where an active shooting case is somebody firing a gun in public, not part of some other type of crime like a robbery or a gang fight over drug turf. And, over the 9 years from 2014 to 2022, they claim that there are 302 of these active shooting cases. It can be anything from somebody firing a gun and nobody being shot, all the way up to a mass public shooting. When I was working in the Department of Justice up until 2021, one of my tasks was to go and evaluate the reports that the FBI was doing. And unfortunately, even at that time, I pointed out that they were missing a lot of cases involving civilians using guns to stop attacks. They haven't fixed them. They didn't fix them then, and they still haven't fixed them.
Do we have a sense of why perhaps the FBI or other agencies might be resistant to making the fixes, as you pointed out to them repeatedly?
Right. Well, we know gun control groups have lobbied the Centers for Disease Control. Last year, gun control groups like the Gun Violence Archive were with the help of the Biden administration, were put in contact with the top people at the Centers for Disease Control, and they got the Centers for Disease Control to remove from their website any information on the rate of defensive gun uses in the country. I've only dealt with part of the FBI, the data people, and there's been a number of instances where I've had to deal with them where I think that they've been, at least the data people, are politically biased.
If you don't have good information for making public policy decisions and laws, potentially, you could make bad laws. And so this is potentially, I guess, dangerous to the broader public, correct?
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree. Look, I mean, I've been using FBI crime data for 40 years. But after working in the Department of Justice and dealing with these reports, I mean, this is just one example where I have a hard time trusting crime data coming out of the FBI. And it's real problem in terms of it's just not the media. It's academics use this data for studies. And if you have kind of biased data put in there, you're going to get biased results coming out on the other side.
Crime Prevention Research Center President Dr. John Lott speaking to us from Montana, sir. Beautiful view there. Thank you for speaking to us on One American News, sir.
Thanks for being there, John.